And I'm curious, I want to know from Ralph, do we overvalue Quintana a little too much? I mean, he's good, he's not great. Got four straight seasons over 200 innings pitched. ERA always in the mid threes. Whip always in the 1-2s. Ks per nine, always around the 8 mark. But he's never won. He's never won more than last year's career high, which is 13. And that's actually his first time in double digits for wins.
Mm.
So, are you excited if he doesn't get traded? And is it almost safe to say he absolutely will?
Yeah, I don't know if he absolutely will get traded. I think it's a strong possibility. Obviously, there's been some rumors out there with New York, which even though I know it's a hitter's park, would actually be a great fit for a lefty like Quintana. Lefties always, typically historically have done well in that park with those dimensions. The other one is Pittsburgh, which would also be another great fit for him. Whether he's traded or not, I think his value could go up a little bit if he goes to Pittsburgh, possibly a little bit in New York. Maybe that's a little bit questionable. The thing with Quintana, though, is he's tough to figure out. I always felt like he was grossly underrated going into last season. He put up a good season last year. Early on, he was great. The K's were up a little bit. Eventually, by the time it hit midseason, everything sort of evened out to what his career norms are. In some ways, it was a career year. It was his lowest ERA he's ever had. I think it was around 3.2, 3.21, somewhere in that area. And he had the 13 wins, like you mentioned. The thing that I'm questionable about with him is his peripherals don't say that it was his best year. His peripherals actually say that it was potentially his worst season. And there were some trends I saw that I didn't like. One of the things that I really liked about Quintana the last couple of years is he was starting to transition more to a ground ball pitcher. That reversed itself in 2016. His ground ball rate dropped by 9%. His fly ball rate rose by 8 or 9%. So it was pretty much even in terms of what happened there. He was giving up more home runs. His home run per fly ball was higher than it had been. He gave up 22 homers, which was one short of his career high, which was 23 in 2013. He's kind of reverted back to that guy that he was in 2013. Now, like you said, there's a lot of good stuff going on there. He gets deep into games. I think I counted out of his 32 starts, so he made all of his starts last year. He had 18 games where he went past the sixth inning. So he actually went out for the seventh inning in 18 different games. It's really valuable in real world baseball. So I think as a real world guy, Quintana is very valuable. In terms of fantasy, I think it depends on what kind of league you're playing in. If you're playing in a head-to-head league, he's a little bit more valuable. If you're playing in a head-to-head points league, he's even a little bit more valuable because I know a lot of these head-to-head points leagues do count innings toward their point totals. If you're in just a straight roto league, 12-team roto league, mixed league, I don't know if I necessarily want to own him. But like I said, there's some good and some bad there with Quintana. I think he's a mid-rotation starter that has more value in reality and with certain formats. But if we're just talking 12-team roto, he's probably not somebody I'm going to draft.
Yeah, and you see, I have the exact opposite take of that because,
Okay.
well, he's currently by NFBC ADP
Mm-hmm.
data. He's currently the 26th starting pitcher off the board, 109th overall. We pretty much paying a premium on him, and he's never finished close to that in my points leagues, despite his
No.
terrific counter stats and the regular numbers across the board. And that all comes down to the lack of wins on the resume. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing in the categories league, the roto league, I actually want those statistics he's putting up because he's giving you the innings, he's giving you the Ks, he's giving you the low ERA, the low whip. And I'm going to try to find my wins from somebody else on the cheap, maybe a middle reliever who's getting hot, picking things up, something along that line to kind of balance it out. It's the points league that I'm actually not looking to add him in because I don't want to pay the premium on what his name is drawing right now. So, if I
Mm-hmm.
have him, I might be looking to trade him. Uh, and again, that all is hinging on him remaining with the White Sox. If he does get traded, obviously his luck could change, as we discussed Ivan Nova last week. If he winds up in Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at his win total, wondering how could he be so good and just be so unlucky, and thinking, Sale's, been in Cy Young, races, it's got to be horrible luck, right? And if you go look at sales numbers, he hasn't had great win totals either. So
Mm-hmm.
it really is something more with the White Sox to me than what he's been doing as a pitcher. So I'd be excited if he got traded. If he remains in Chicago, though, I think you're going to be overpaying for what the rest of the fantasy community seems to have caught up on. So, that goes back to what you were saying a couple of years ago, that he was severely undervalued. And now it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
he's overhyped. So that's Jose Quintana for you. So I think it's a buyer beware label that I put on.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the ground ball rate going down is really the sort of jumping off point for me because the K's, like you said, they're about high sevens, low eights. If he's a 9 or a 10 guy, I can kind of deal with the fly ball stuff. But if he's not getting super weak contact, it's tough.
Yeah, I would agree.